What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy David. We back with another reaction video. As y'all can see, we got two goats in the making, nigga. We got, or not in the making, but two goats just in general. We got Ichigo Kurosaki versus Yusuke Urameshi. I'm saying we got Bleach versus Yu Yu Hakusho. I can't lie, bro. I didn't watch Yu Yu Hakusho, but I found out what Yu Yu Hakusho was because Togashi, the maker of Hunter x Hunter, this was the manga and the anime he made before Hunter x Hunter. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, damn. And I really fuck with Hunter x Hunters, but I never really watched any Yu Yu Hakusho. I should though. I wanted to watch the Netflix show. I didn't. I just didn't have the time to watch it though, or the interest to watch it. But I might watch it after this though. And I'm saying we all know about Ichigo, nigga. Strawberry 5. That nigga. This that nigga, bro. But honestly, who I think is gonna win? Low-key, I got Ichigo. But I got Ichigo because I feel like their powers and abilities are just on a higher level than what they're doing in Yu Yu Hakusho. Even though Yu Yu Hakusho, they're on like some god ass shit. Like they do some really very impressive things. Like even though I never watched much of Yu Yu Hakusho, I definitely watched a couple of power scaling videos, and it was like basically just explaining how like these characters are out here like moving at the speed of light and shit like that. And like I remember one time I saw this scene, this little clip of him and these two bald dudes running, but them niggas was running like 1,000,000,000 miles per hour for 3 days straight. I was like, what the fuck? Like they were moving so goddamn fast, I couldn't even believe that shit, bro. I was like, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, make sure y'all like and subscribe and try to get to 1,000 subscribers. Let's see who finna take this hoe, man. Death battle, let's get it. Oh, I got this whole fucking going to the wrong team. Alright, let's get it.
Ichigo Kurosaki versus Yusuke Urameshi.
The substitute Shinigami of Bleach versus the spirit detective of Yu Yu Hakusho. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Tell me, Boomstick.
No cap, I haven't watched a death battle in so long, but I remember my first death battle I ever watched was Kratos versus Spawn. Oh, I rewatched that video 3-4 times back to back because I loved this shit so much, and I kept going from there. But I haven't watched a death battle in so long, bro. This should take me back, nigga. No cap.
What happens when we die?
Endless nothingness? Jeez, man, I don't know. We just started.
Our souls are ferried by Shinigami, gods of death, in an eternal cycle.
Hey, but okay, y'all know like my favorite Shinigami is right. Y'all should notice he's literally on the little profile pic for the channel. Shunsui, bro, that nigga is cool as a bitch. I love Shunsui, bro. He's cool as hell. No cap.
Of death and rebirth.
That was my second guess.
And when a soul goes astray, warped by evil and regret, it's a Shinigami's job to purify such violent hollows and send them off to the realm of the dead, the Soul Society.
Works great till it doesn't. Enter Ichigo Kurosaki, whose tragic anime backstory came way too early when his mom was killed by a hollow. Reason number one why you should never want your kid to be the
Ichigo's 5'11"? I ain't gonna lie, nigga. The way he be looking, it be making that nigga look like he goddamn 6'5". No cap.
anime protagonist.
Left with his grief, young Ichigo was crushed under the weight of survivor's guilt.
So he lashed out the only way he knew how, beating people up.
But this wound began to...
But this human being, this human, let's go back a little bit.
Left with his grief, young Ichigo was crushed under the weight of survivor's guilt.
This nigga is 5'11", 145, by the way, soaking wet. Hold on.
So he lashed out the only way he knew how,
as well as his...
Oh shit. I sped it up, but look, bro. Did he just kick that nigga into concrete, bro?
He knew how, beating people up.
But this wound began to heal when...
He smashed concrete with his fucking face. How? He's 145, 5'11", soaking wet, smashing people's face into concrete. How? God damn, nigga. Shit.
He found his calling upon meeting a Shinigami named Rukia. To stop a powerful hollow, she gave Ichigo her powers, rousing unseen potential within.
Boom! Just like that, Ichigo's a Shinigami.
Substitute Shinigami. To carry out his duties, Ichigo sheds his body for an invisible one made of spiritual matter called Reishi. He can wield vast amounts of spiritual energy, called Ryoku, and exert it offensively in the form of spiritual pressure, or Reiatsu.
Okay, that's a lot of big words.
That was really complicated. Oh, hold on. While Shinigami are invisible, they're not intangible and can be touched by normal people. Oh shit, I didn't know that. I thought they were intangible. But sometimes some Shinigami are like so strong that just their aura be melting people, so I don't even know like if they should even, be out here just like letting themselves get touched.
But all it really means is he's a super-powered ghost with an epic sword. His spirit aura is so strong, he can stun lock foes, crushing them under his own power, even fatally.
He controls spirit matter in and around him, hardening his skin for defense and leaping off of invisible footholds in the air. Paired with speed-boosting skills like Shunpo, he can virtually fly.
Say goodbye to the kid who beat up bullies for their lunch money, and hello.
And honestly, my first time watching Bleach, I was just thinking, oh, they're just dead-ass flying. But no, they're making footholds of Reiatsu in the air that they're using to fly. But they dare to be looking like they're flying, I'm not gonna lie, basically.
To the town's new superhero with fellow Ghostbusters Orihime, Chad, and Uryu, plus Rukia. It was the Shinigami's job to tear hollows a new hole.
While balancing responsibilities at school, of course. GPA comes first, and maybe a round or two of tech.
But it wouldn't be possible without his Shinigami blade, a Zanpakuto. It's basically a superpowered spirit that's physically a sword. Ghost Sword!
Though strangely, Ichigo's sword is composed of two distinct spirits, both named Zangetsu, which isn't confusing at all.
Just call him Old Man Zangetsu and Hollow Zangetsu. Anyway, the double Ghost Sword gives Ichigo lots of new moves, including his trademark attack, the Sword Beam to end all Sword Beams. Getsuga!
And I remember that one time Ichigo was fighting Grimjaw, or not Grimjaw, or Genjo. He was fighting Genjo, and he swung his sword, and Genjo was like, haha, that was some weak ass Getsuga Tensho. And he was like, I just swung my sword, bro. I was laughing so hard. That shit was crazy.
And show!
Getsuga Tensho is incredibly powerful, and so effective that Ichigo developed multiple variants. He can fire it as a wave, detonate it mid-attack to act as a barrier.
And by the way, I swear he's the only person who uses this fucking ability like in the whole show, by the way. Like nobody else. His dad used it once or twice, but his dad's is like actual fire. You know what I'm saying?
And combine two at once into the even stronger Getsuga Jujisho.
To cut even the biggest hollows down to size, Ichigo was ridiculously strong, even from frame 1.
He can make giant shockwaves and parry spiritual light beams from a Menos Grande. And these aren't fake, slower-than-light lasers. Guidebooks confirm they're real light, and the novels say so too.
Plus, early on, Uryu moved so fast that he left his own
So they're basically faster than light, basically.
shadow behind.
But as Ichigo became more involved with the Soul Society, he quickly found that he wasn't good enough.
This Byakuya guy's so fast, Ichigo can't even see him. Time for a good old-fashioned training arc. Hit the music!
Until now, Zangetsu had operated only in its base state, Shikai. So Ichigo learned to release its inner power.
And technically, it doesn't have in its base state. The Shikai of a Zanpakuto is not its base state. That's like its second release. The third release, it's base Zanpakuto, which is the regular sword. Then it's the Shikai, which is the first release. And then the second release is Bankai. And sometimes there's multiple releases even within a Bankai. Some Bankai can be suppressed or kind of have layers like an onion. You know what I'm saying? So it's just different things. Ichigo shit got layers, I ain't gonna lie.
10 times boost that takes most Shinigami a decade to master. Bankai!
A decade? What? It is not. It takes hundreds of years to get a Bankai.
Base state, Shikai. So Ichigo learned to release its inner power. A 10 times boost that takes most Shinigami a decade to master. Bankai!
In Bankai, his speed...
It does. 10 years? I thought it took hundreds of years to get a Bankai. What the fuck?
Skyrocketed, letting him turn the tables on douchebag Byakuya. Even in Shikai, he blocked an attack that could destroy the whole friggin' Soul Society.
Because Ichigo's greatest gift is his potential to improve. Despite only being a teenager, he mastered swordsmanship well enough to thrash experts who had been training for centuries. He can quickly adapt to new weapons and styles mid-fight.
Yeah, that's one thing I didn't understand about Bleach. I was like, dude, I get it. This anime be using a lot of powers and magic and shit, but these dudes have been training on how to use swords since like for hundreds of years. This nigga's only 15. How is he beating niggas who have been using swords longer than he has been alive? Like, I get it, he's beating them with like magical powers and magic and shit, but like, goddamn, bro, like, fuck.
Surpassing his limits time and time again.
I guess swordsmanship only has a limit. I guess swordsmanship has like a limit to how like effective it is. After that point, it's time to start blasting lasers at niggas.
Like when he took on Catboy Grimjow. He was getting clamped, but as soon as he heard Orihime cheering him on, that was all he needed to smash that.
Nigga, ore farm. Look at this shit. Look at this ore farm. Niggas awesome. Don't do that one. Don't do that. Like, oh, that shit crazy.
Kitty.
You mean Grim?
Look at his face, bro. Look at his face, bro. This nigga smiling, yeah.
Jow, right?
Yeah, but even with that main character energy, Ichigo couldn't match Big Bad Aizen. With just a finger, Aizen's...
You know, Aizen was broken. I always used to think Aizen was just broken because of the Hogyoku and his Zanpakuto, which is true, but he also just innately has huge beef. This is before the Hogyoku. He just has huge amounts of spiritual pressure for no reason at all. Like, I just did not understand that shit. The nigga is just powerful.
Up Ichigo's Bankai and his theme song, Rude.
Ichigo needed to tap
Then he cut him in the stomach. Then he cut him, bro.
to his unexplained hollow power. Except Hollow Zangetsu wasn't going to make it easy.
Old Man Zang's pretty chill, but this guy's a menace.
Still, Ichigo needed his help and conjured a hollow mask to expand his power. But this meant the hollow within only grew stronger.
Masked up, he can fire lasers, bypass super senses, and heal lost limbs. But piss him off enough, and he'll go full hollow. And you really...
And by the way, in this fight, they make it known and apparent that the amount of clothing on his body is indicative of how much spiritual pressure he has. Right? This nigga has basically less than a quarter of his spiritual pressure left, and he's kicking Ulquiorra's face in, bro.
We don't want that.
Hollification
Nigga's missing a whole pant leg, kicking Ulquiorra's fucking shit in, bro.
exceeds even Bankai and was enough to crush Ulquiorra in a battle that shook all of Hueco Mundo, the world of hollows.
Full hollow Ichigo could even tear through all 3 layers of hell.
But with help from his secret Shinigami father, Ichigo continued to train for months in the Dangai, a corridor between dimensions, until he was finally ready to challenge Aizen.
Challenge is an understatement. He manhandled Aizen, shattered mountains with sheer aura, and flexed so hard
Aizen had evolved to threaten the Soul King Aditi, yeah, that's true.
he smashed out of the black coffin, which crushes space like a mini black hole.
And yet, it still wasn't enough. So by becoming Getsuga itself, Ichigo unleashed his ultimate attack, Mugetsu, defeating Aizen at the cost of all his power.
And by the way, that move didn't even kill Aizen. It weakened him a lot enough to where he could be sealed, but it didn't even kill him. That's how fucking broken Aizen was. Aizen was losing at the start of the fight, but he kept evolving because of the Hogyoku to the point where he was matching Ichigo, and he literally, like, that's why Ichigo had to end that shit fast, because he couldn't keep up with that nigga, bro.
He might have saved everyone, but now it was back to Normieville.
Ichigo never truly realized until then just how much being a Shinigami meant to him. The power to protect others, his drive, his pride in himself was gone. He would give anything to get it back.
And he did, thanks to a surprise assist from Rukia. Boom, Shinigami again.
Just in time for a 1,000-year blood war with a final endgame boss, Yuhabak.
Who planned to end everything. And while other Shinigami tried their best, only Ichigo...
But the way Chojuro died was so goddamn disrespectful, bro. They put that nigga on the wall like a poster, nigga. Hung his ass up. pinned him there and let him hang. I ain't gonna lie, that shit was nasty.
but was special enough to pull it off.
His father was a Shinigami. His mother was a member of the ancient Quincy's and possessed by a hollow. Hence, his two Zanpakuto spirits, one Quincy, the other hollow and Shinigami, made Ichigo a perfect
He's also a Fullbringer, by the way.
union to break Yhwach's plan. Finally, Ichigo understood himself, fully unifying with both Zanpakuto spirits within. With that came a new Shikai and two new Zanpakuto.
True Shikai! If you thought Ichigo was strong before, oh boy, he's the strongest Shinigami alive. They're dead. Undead? Yeah.
Stronger than Kenpachi, who could split the Dangai in half. Stronger than Senjumaru, who shook heaven and earth across the realms. And strong enough to match Yhwach, even after he...
But you know what I really wish I saw? I really wish I saw, I think it's Oetsu. I really wish I saw Oetsu's Bankai, bro. Because Senjumaru's Bankai was cool and all, but man, like, Oetsu just seemed to, like, he was the most dangerous nigga in that bitch. I think he just felt like, because obviously the monk dude is the most dangerous member of Squad Zero, but Oetsu felt like a close runner-up. Like, not only did he make Zanpakutos, but his Zanpakuto is so sharp, it can't have a sheath. Like, that nigga's Bankai was probably like a cut so sharp it like cuts through space and time or some shit. That would've been so cool.
absorbed the Soul King.
Juiced up with Soul King power, Yhwach could nuke all three realms. The human world, Soul Society, and Hueco Mundo, plus the Dangai and Garganta in between, which have a bunch of pocket dimensions sprinkled in. Hell, just the Soul King's corpse sent a shockwave across all the realms.
And it's not a matter of disrupting the flow of souls. Yhwach was going to end everything through sheer power alone.
But Ichigo still wasn't done powering up.
Entering a new half-hollow form and merging his Getsuga Tencho with a mighty hollow attack, the Gran Ray Sero.
Making a giant crescent slash that rips through space itself.
All that power culminating in his true Bankai. A power so great, even Yhwach was scared of it.
Joke's on you! Ichigo didn't even need it! You're done!
Ichigo was finally content. And 10 years later, he remains a Shinigami, having found the courage to stand on the edge of life and death, conquer his fears, and walk onward. Most teenagers have no idea what they want to do with their life. However, that was hardly a problem for juvenile delinquent Yusuke Urameshi, because he only ever wanted to do one thing.
Throw hands! It don't matter who the ops are, be they women, old folk, or babies, Yusuke lived to fight. It's what gave life meaning. Who cares about stupid things like friends and family?
Which is why it was so surprising when one day he threw himself in front of a speeding car to save a child, bringing that reckless life to a screeching halt.
Truck-kun claims another victim.
The Yu Yu Hakusho anime is somewhat different from the manga, particularly the ending, but it's still a mixed story, so we are okay, bet. I ain't gonna lie, bro. W character, no bullshit. Like, yeah, he wants to fight and shit, but him saving that little kid, that was great. I like that.
But this is chapter 1 of a battle shonen, so death is hardly the end.
Surprisingly, though, it wasn't a spooky skeleton in a hood who arrived to claim Yusuke's soul. It was a blue-haired anime girl on a broomstick.
This was Botan, whose job was to ferry Yusuke's newly deceased spirit off to the afterlife.
Unfortunately, or I guess fortunately for him, he was such an asshole that the underworld didn't see his selfless death coming and didn't have any space prepared for him. Imagine being such a menace to society that the second you do something nice, hell itself gets caught with his pants down.
So the underworld surrogate king, Koenma, offered Yusuke an alternative. He could return to life as an agent of the afterlife, a spirit detective, solving supernatural crimes and fighting off demonic threats to humanity.
Naturally, Yusuke did what any
That sounds like a cool ass job. I ain't gonna lie, I would have took that motherfucker in a heartbeat, nigga. What you mean I get to fight demons with magical powers? Bet.
one would do in that situation. And don't Satan Jr.
As long as it ain't motherfucking Jujutsu Kaisen, I would never want to be a Jujutsu sorcerer. Oh my god, even if I was strong, I wouldn't want to be a Jujutsu sorcerer. Cause like nigga, you're strong, you take a couple fades, you think you're that nigga chopped in half. Like just annihilated, bro. Rest in peace to my nigga Gojo. Bro, I didn't even see it come. I literally didn't see it coming. But it's like And that's why Gege Akutami is just a good writer. Like the way he wrote that shit blindsided Gojo and everybody reading it because it was from his perspective. Gojo didn't know what the fuck was going on. All he knew, he was in half, bleeding out of his mouth, losing blood fast, died. I was like, fuck. Nigga, I was shook.
Here to stuff it.
But this nigga said no. The fuck?
I mean, he was never really good for anything, and no one was gonna miss him. So what's the point of coming back to life? It's not like his mom would be sad, or his childhood sweetheart Keiko would be heartbroken, or even his rival Kuwabara would shed manly tears. Oh man.
At the sight of loved ones who cared far more than he ever expected, Yusuke had a change of heart and accepted Koenma's offer, returning to life with a new purpose and a new job.
And newfound ass kicking him.
And I ain't gonna lie, one thing about this show, hey, these niggas clean. Hey, these niggas can dress. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm gonna keep it as that.
Ability. In his quest to beat the dog shit out of demonkind, Yusuke learned to harness Reiki, or spirit energy. He's ridiculously strong, fast, and durable, heals from wounds quickly, and can see spirits invisible to mortal men.
Even early on, Yusuke could parry Suzaku's lightning arrows, which are formed from real lightning called down from the sky. And with the help of legendary warrior Genkai, he mastered a signature move that could blast anyone to smithereens.
My favorite shonen move ever, the Spirit Gun. At first, Yusuke had a limited number of shots, but eventually he turned it into his personal WMD. Stronger than any weapon on Earth, he could go finger blasting around it.
Yeah, he let niggas have it. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, he just let niggas have it. That shit crazy.
As much as he wants.
The spirit gun is more versatile than it appears. Yusuke can bounce it off surfaces for sneak attacks, propel himself around like a rocket in flight, and produce massive explosions with each shot.
He can twist it up for a spirit shotgun, a mighty AoE blast, or a spirit punch, where he keeps the energy stored in his fists and clobbers the hell out of you. And the spirit wave, a Kamehameha from before we uncultured Americans knew what a Kamehameha was.
Yusuke may be a punk, but he's deceptively skilled and cunning in battle.
He's not afraid to fight dirty, throwing his shoes, using sleight of hand to place cigarettes on his foe to track them in the dark.
Personally, I'd call that smart, and his hand-to-hand is A+. He's matched experts like Kabano, who's said to have mastered all forms of martial combat.
Or how are you? This is and again with the shit, like this dude has mastered all forms of martial combat. He's getting his ass kicked by a nigga who can only throw punches. How, bro? Yusuke has not trained as long as he has. How the fuck? They do that in anime all the time where like these young dudes are going up against these niggas who have been doing this shit forever and winning. How?
But his best secret is how quickly he improves. All it takes is a round of training or someone threatening his friends, and Yusuke's power will spike to match stronger enemies, even if it means literally burning through his own life force for a power-up.
All known demons and demon fighters are individually ranked on a scale of power from E to S.
E and D class demons are nothing special. We're talking local threats at best. C and B are getting a bit dicey in a destroy your city kind of way. A and S? Well, hold on to your ass. We're talking end of the world.
As Yusuke forged bonds with new allies, like demons Hiei and Kurama, as well as his old pal Kuwabara, he found himself facing opponents he couldn't beat, such as the monstrous Toguro, who could vaporize weaker demons and crush their souls with sheer aura.
But Yusuke needed to survive and protect his loved ones. So, yeah.
I swear, and they literally make this joke all the time, but the most dangerous place to be in an anime is a tournament. Holy, anytime an anime has like a tournament section or a tournament scene where like their fighters are fighting and shit, and everybody's going like fighting, there's always collateral damage. Somebody in the crowd is going to get fucked every single time. Like I remember in the Dragon Ball one, bruh, Vegeta literally shot into the crowd, bro. Like that shit was crazy. And then Fairy Tail, I remember, bro, Natsu came back after his little quest with Happy, and Fairy Tail had been disbanded. He came back, niggas started melting the stadium. Like what? Like what the hell? Like, you know what I'm saying? They just do shit like that.
No choice but
That's why it's so dangerous. Like, that shit just so, like somebody in the crowd who's not even fighting is gonna get hurt every time.
To rank up, even if it meant absorbing the power of a small star. Thanks, Genkai!
Our sun has an average luminosity of 380 septillion watts, or joules per second. Small stars like red dwarfs output about 1/10,000th of that. So this spirit orb's energy per second would equal about 9 million megatons of TNT.
Enough to send Toguro to the grave.
Even after pushing past his own limits, Yusuke would still need more power to face S-class threats like Sensui, a past spirit detective gone bad, and a great measuring stick for what top-tier demons are capable of.
Sensui was so yoked, he couldn't even use all his power in the human world without threatening to bring down the whole thing. He compared destroying the whole goddamn planet to kicking an anthill.
According to
No fucking way. That is crazy. That's ridiculous. Oh my god, that's like poetry. Holy shit.
Genkai, Yusuke could destroy the planet too, if he really wanted. And even A-class threats like King Enma have shaken both the demon and human worlds.
That anima guy is strong as balls. In the past,
Based on Sensui and Genkai's wording, they're likely referring to complete shit. Like enough. Like, so you're saying that like Yusuke has enough power to just dismantle the binding energy of Earth? Fuck, that's crazy. Like,
he fought the Netherworld King Yakumo, who could eradicate the entire human world and remake the Netherworld.
But Yusuke's power surpassed both of them to the point where he overloaded Yakumo with his own energy. And do keep in mind, Yusuke was still only A-class at the time, a far cry from S-classes like Sensui, whose sacred energy was 10 times his superior.
But not for long, sucker, because turns out Yusuke was a demon himself.
Literally. Yusuke is the descendant of an ancient and incredibly powerful being, one of the strongest in existence, Raizen, the Demon King.
With his Mizoku mark, Yusuke can channel Raizen's spirit for a huge power boost and a massive thirst for murder boost. This was his first taste of a
he's stepping on that nigga. That's crazy.
dangerous new type of spirit energy, Yoki.
A form of energy used by demons. Like normal Reiki, it can be amplified by intense emotions. Unlike normal Reiki, its use creates a pleasurable feeling, feeding into the user's rage and bloodlust, the feral animal within.
So Yusuke upgraded his spirit gun to a demon gun. It's the same thing, but red. Oh, and it's strong enough to blast Sensui past the horizon, putting Yusuke's power firmly in S-class.
And making him a prime candidate to rule the demon world. But as he was thrust into a tournament vying for that throne, Yusuke began to wonder if all this power was what he really wanted.
Self-reflection? From I'll kick your ass, Yusuke Urameshi? Nah, we can worry about that later. There's a tournament to win. Which one of you, girl, baby, or grandparents is first?
Even then, as Yusuke took on the Demon King Yomi in an epic final battle,
By the Demon World Tournament, Yusuke was superior to Hiei, who survived his Makuro that cut through space. God damn, nigga. They break it through space and time and shit too? Shit.
he was still growing. He had become far stronger than before, even achieving a unique version of the Mizoku form separate from Raizen's influence.
And a brand spanking new form of power. Kinda like Sensui's sacred energy, but even better. It's so unprecedented, it doesn't even have a name, but it's golden glowy.
Strong enough to clash with Yomi, creating an explosion that split the heavens above and decimated the Okunin tree below, pushing the Demon King himself to his absolute limits.
But then, Yusuke lost. It's not all bad though. Even if being king would have been cool, Yusuke realized he wanted something more. He'd grown up and chose to walk a new path.
It was always Yusuke's connections with others that motivated him above all else. And it was in those connections that he found his happy ending.
But I wouldn't piss him off if you can avoid it. Get him in the right mood or threaten the human world, and the spirit detective will beat.
I feel like honestly, if you wanted to beat the Demon King, he could have did it. Honestly, the way they're making it sound like he just lost. He just, you know, sometimes you just lose. You know, but I feel like if they went round two, yeah, Yusuke would have made that nigga fold on God.
Your stupid ass.
Long has its return been foretold, but now, finally, it is reborn.
The original Death Battle shirt that once dominated the world. Hell yeah, there's no better way to wear a blood spatter on your chest.
We've restored the original shirt with even
Okay, make sure y'all cop the merch. And shit like that. Let's see the Death Battle! Let's get it. But now, you know the Death Battle that I think had the best animation for real? Bayonetta versus Dante. Oh my god, that shit was beautiful, bro. No cap.
That's a demon.
That's a hollow.
No doubt about it. There it goes! Getsuga, Tensho!
This nigga Ichigo put down a Zanpakuto to go hand to hand. I've never seen him do that shit in the anime once. What the fuck? This nigga dirty, bro. What a hoe. Shot him in the dick.
Chump change.
Reckless idiot!
What a baby! Little demon energy got you scared.
Nah.
This animation's pretty good though, I'm not gonna lie, man. No cap. I'm fucking with it. It's 8-bit. It's hitting.
Getsuga! Yujisho!
Two at once? Damn, why didn't I think of that?
Give in to me, Yusuke. Let's devour him together. Hell no!
But this nigga got his literal grandpa in his fucking ear like a demon. Talking about some, let's devour him together. Like, what the hell, boy? Get your ass back, nigga. Stay dead, bro. Goddamn.
My fight, jackass! You just told me back!
Yeesh, rude awakening. This one's a piece of work. Need a hand, partner? Let's do it. Like old times.
On! Cut! Tensa! Sangetsu! Is that the best you can do? I can go even faster if you'd like.
Hell yeah! Bring it on, asshole!
I'm loving the bravado, no cap. I'm loving the I'm loving the voice lines. I'm loving the voice lines.
I'll kill you even if it kills me! I'm putting it all on the line! You better do the same! Screw that!
Give me a freaking break.
Yeah, Yusuke lost down, nigga.
See you on the other side.
KO! You, think the afterlife offers frequent flyer miles?
There's a lot to cover here, so let's break this down into 4 chapters,
All right.
starting with their abilities.
Yusuke could see Ichigo no problem, and resist auras like Taguro's that are similar to Reiatsu, so Ichigo couldn't cheese a win right away.
Otherwise, Yusuke was outmatched. Sure, the Spirit Gun could potentially match the Getsuga Tensho, and he had stat-boosting forms like the Mizoku. Ichigo, however, had more varied powers, a better healing factor, greater stamina given his months of Dangai training,
And and all those swords. He just had way more abilities to play with.
Likewise, speed was a fairly easy call. Yusuke could react to lightning early on and obviously got much faster over time. Looking at this blast from his clash with Yomi, it erupted upwards at 57% the speed of light.
But Ichigo was faster than light from the start, and he's gotten faster too. He couldn't even see Byakuya at first, but blitzed him in the rematch. Plus, he's got tons of training and power-ups since then.
The Soul King Shockwave, for example, expanded across the realms at thousands of times light speed, and Ichigo reacted to attacks from Soul King Yuhabak that utilized the same power.
Damn.
So, Ichigo takes speed. But Yusuke's fought plenty of
I thought, honestly, I was thinking Yusuke was like just as fast as him, bro. I don't know, man. Damn.
foes faster or more varied than him, so it's extremely important to examine their tactics and ability to adapt mid-fight.
This is kind of both their things. Ichigo has styled on guys with centuries of training and has over a decade of experience as a Shinigami. He's pretty good at figuring out new weapons and styles.
Meanwhile, Yusuke was flexible and quick to adapt, mixing cleverness with exceptional hand-to-hand. He's good enough to match Kabano, who mastered every martial art. Ichigo's decent at hand-to-hand, but it's not his go-to in the same way.
So both had their
That's what I'm saying, like, bro. Like, him putting out his swords to go hand with that nigga, I was like, what the fuck? He does not do that. What the hell? That's not his bag. Pick up them swords, nigga.
strong suits with advantages on each side. It's fair to call this one a draw.
Leaving only the biggest winning factor, which could have superseded all other advantages: power.
Between Sensui, Genkai, and Enma, Yusuke could definitely destroy the planet. Examining his skies
So he's planetary. Okay.
splitting clash with Yomi and measuring its scale, that's about 4 quadrillion megatons of TNT, which is crazy.
Similarly, mid-series Ichigo could shake Huecomundo, tear through hell, and block attacks that could destroy the Soul Society. But at his peak, he beat Yuhabak, who could destroy several realms, which is far more impressive than just one.
To be fair, Yusuke also beat Yakumo, who could threaten 2 realms at the same time, pretty close to Yuhabak's threatening 3.
And Yusuke far surpassed Yakumo afterward. The gap between him and Sensui alone was 10 times. So there could be an argument for Yusuke's power surpassing Ichigo if 3 realms was truly Ichigo's limit.
Fortunately for Ichigo, it's not. Yuhabak was also gonna destroy the Garganta, which has at least 29 pocket dimensions inside it.
Each containing at least a planet and star, much larger than Yusuke's planet-sized world.
Right.
Plus, Ichigo matched Yuhabak in True Shikai, without his additional boost from Half Hollow and True Bankai.
As always with Death Battle, there's arguments either way, but the way we see it, even being generous,
Yeah, either way, bro, there's a world Yusuke could win. There's a world Ichigo wins. We just happen to land on a world where Ichigo wins. And Ichigo, the power feats is what sealed it for him. It's a power feat.
with Yusuke's power and conservative with Ichigo's, the gap was just too big, giving Ichigo the final edge. Sorry if things got messy, but that's just how Ichigo's.
The winner is Ichigo Kurosaki.
Hey, my boy won. But with that being said, make sure y'all like and subscribe. Make sure y'all get to 1,000 subscribers. Did y'all think Ichigo's gonna win from the start? Leave it in the comments down below, man. With that being said, I'm gonna catch y'all next one. We out.